When someone spends nearly 2 decades sourcing grapes for Australia's most iconic reds like Grange and then decides to plant Nero d'Avola in Barossa, that's saying something. We recently held a blind tasting of Nero d'Avola, part of our deep dive series at younggunofwine.com. Our panel of winemakers and sommeliers picked their favourites, tasted completely blind. And this wine, the 2024 Paulmara DeNero Nero d'Avola, was selected as one of the top wines. And in the glass, dark fruits like plums and dark cherries and blackberries lead on the nose, along with olive tapenade and bay leaf. And those dark fruits continue on the palate, along with a dried orange slice character. And there's an earthiness and spice here like star anise. There's generosity to the flavours, but it's not a heavy blockbuster Barossa red. Nero d'Avola, the black grape of Avola, originates from southeastern Sicily, and Mediterranean varieties are gaining momentum in Australia as growers seek grapes naturally adapted to warmer and drier conditions. And Paulmara are at the forefront of producers exploring new varieties. Their Nero d'Avola was planted 15 years ago, and they're the first Australian producers to vinify the Greek Xinomavro and the Cypriot variety Xynisteri. All the hard-to-pronounce grape varieties that thrive in climates that are getting hotter and drier. And Paulmara Estates was established by Paul and Mara Georgiadis, and Paul spent nearly 2 decades as Penfolds Grower Services Manager, meaning he'd developed intimate understanding of South Australia's best vineyards, delivering fruit for Australia's most iconic wines. And Mara grew up in California. Her father, a viticulture professor, and she had a diverse wine career in California before the two met while she was travelling here in the late 90s. And they got married. Paulmara followed, and as if anything else was going to happen, they now operate 2 Barossa vineyards. Paul's original home block established 30 years ago, and a second site with vines up to 90 years old. And their winemaker, Jason Barrett, has worked alongside Paul since his Penfolds days. And while you're often thinking or talking about oak regime when it comes to classic Barossa reds, you can see in this wine that their approach in the winery has been deliberately light touch, with the use of oak restrained to keep Nero d'Avola's fruit and spice and savoury elements front and centre. And they've made an approachable, crowd-pleasing red that balances generosity with freshness. And this is the wonderful thing about Nero d'Avola. It can make approachable, juicy, fresh and fruit-forward wines. It thrives in the kind of hot conditions that can turn Shiraz into raisins. For our full deep dive into Nero d'Avola, head to younggunofwine.com and check out the deep dive. Cheers.